Hey everybody, it's Michaela. Today I'm going to be reading The Royal Raven by Hans Willem, just for you. Crack! The egg popped open and out came Crawford. Here I am, he crowed. But there was no reply. His mother was out looking for food. He was all by himself. There was nobody to make a fuss about his arrival. Then came an even bigger disappointment. Crawford saw he was a boring-looking raven, like all the others. Deep in his heart, he felt he was special. He tried to show them how different he was. Look at me, he said, but nobody ever paid any attention. At first, Crawford was furious. That didn't help much. Then he began to feel sorry for himself. And every time he caught sight of his ordinary raven's feathers, he wished he looked different. Why can't I look like a swan, or a cardinal, or an eagle, or even a little silly hummingbird? Anything would be better than this. Every day, Crawford came up with another idea to improve his appearance. But it was no use. Nothing seemed to be just right. I have to do something more drastic, he said as he flew off into the deepest part of the forest. He called upon an old woman who was known for her special powers. Crawford came right to the point. I'll do anything for you if you can make me different. I want some color. I want some flash. I want some razzle-dazzle. What can a silly little raven like you do for me? The old woman sneered. You're no good at all. She paused. However, she went on, I might use some of your tail feathers to spice up this brew. Done, said Crawford, and he plucked out some of his longest tail feathers and gave them to the woman. Abracadabra, shaloo-kaloo, shalee-kalee, croaked the old woman. And with a bang and a boom, a zip and a zap, Crawford was transformed to a spectacular creature with dazzling, shiny feathers. Wow! Cried Crawford as he looked himself over. I hope I didn't overdo it, said the old woman. Then, without even bothering to thank her, Crawford flew back to his friends. Look at me, he cried. He spread his wings and strutted up and down with his beak high in the air. Who is this crazy bird? The other ravens wondered. But they were too polite to say anything. It's me, Crawford. Look how beautiful I am now. The other ravens just stared in silence. I'm special. I'm unique, Crawford boasted. Such a beauty should not be hidden in a dark forest. The royal gardens is a place for me. With that, he flew to the king's castle. As Crawford swooped around the royal garden, he was spotted by the princess. Look at that glorious bird, she cried. Don't let it get away. I want it. Crawford was caught and tied to a golden chain. Proudly, the princess showed off her new treasure. Crawford didn't mind it the least. After all, he was now part of the royal family. What more could he have wished for? He had it all. Dazzling beauty, lots of attention, and a wonderful place to live. Unfortunately, the royal raven's table manners left much to be desired. He lost a great deal of his popularity when he caused a major ruckus in the royal dining room. He was ordered out, and the king made a decree banning all birds from the dinner table, even those that were roasted, broiled, or barbecued. Crawford was banished to a huge golden cage that stood all alone in the royal garden. Servants brought him food, but hardly anyone came to see him anymore. Once in a while, someone would pass by and say, "Oh, what a beautiful bird." But this praise did not make him happy. Each day, Crawford got sadder and sadder. He could see the other birds fly by, and he longed to join them. All he wanted was to be free again. He lost his appetite and grew weaker and weaker. One day, an old woman came to the garden selling strawberries. "What a sad-looking bird," the old woman said. "Why don't you let it go?" "Oh, no," said the princess. "The bird is too precious. There isn't another in the whole kingdom with such dazzling feathers." "Oh, I see," said the woman. "So you keep him for his razzle-dazzle." Suddenly, Crawford understood what he had to do to gain back his freedom. He began to pluck out all his beautiful feathers, one by one. When the princess saw what he had done, she screamed, "Get that horrid bird out of my sight!" That was exactly what Crawford wanted. The guards opened the door of the cage, and at last, Crawford was free again. Crawford sure looked different now, but he wasn't worried. "My feathers will grow back," he said, "and I don't care if they're gold, silver, purple, striped, spotted, or just plain black." And neither did his friends. The end.